Welcome back to the Unrevealed Realities, the channel where unseen lives quietly ripple through the world, and where secret chapters reveal the courage, kindness, and sacrifice hidden in plain sight. Tonight, we uncover a story that stayed silent for years, buried in the shadows of ordinary streets, yet it has shaped a child's future in ways most can't even imagine. It is 6:30 a.m., and the city stretches itself awake beneath the soft glow of a hesitant sun. Dust hangs in the air, mingling with the distant clatter of construction. On one such sight, a thin, hunched figure moves with a rhythm worn into his bones. His clothes are torn, his shoes coated in dried cement dust, and his face carries the fatigue of 1,000 untold struggles. This is Kareem, a laborer whose life is defined by scarcity, yet whose heart carries a secret that would astound anyone who knew him. By 7 a.m., Kareem is already lifting bricks, each one heavier than the last, his sweat mingling with the morning dust. To the world, he is just another laborer, silent, overlooked, perhaps even invisible. But beneath this quiet exterior lies a devotion that surpasses wealth, education, and status. Kareem has been secretly paying the school fees of a young boy named Asif, a child whose family cannot afford to send him to school. For years, Kareem has chosen to remain unseen, his sacrifices hidden behind the noise of ordinary life. Across town, in a modest school building with peeling paint and a courtyard full of dust, Asif rushes in with his faded blue backpack bouncing against his back. His shoes are worn, his uniform slightly too large, but his eyes are bright with curiosity. Teachers often marvel at how his school fees are always paid on time, despite the boy's circumstances. Receipts, mysteriously signed and dated, appear month after month as if by magic. No one knows the source, and Asif himself has never met the person behind this quiet generosity. Inside the school office, senior teacher Mariam examines Asif's file one afternoon. Something peculiar catches her eye. The signatures on the fee receipts differ slightly from month to month, yet the handwriting is unmistakably familiar, calculated, deliberate, and consistent. Someone is paying, and they have gone to great lengths to stay anonymous. Mariam begins to sense the depth of the story hidden behind the numbers and papers. Meanwhile, in a cramped room at the edge of the city, Kareem sits under the dim light of a single bulb. On the floor beside him lies an old, battered metal box. Inside, he carefully counts a few crumpled bills, the entirety of his modest savings. Every month, he sets aside a portion, often the only meal he skips, to ensure Asif's education continues uninterrupted. His hands tremble slightly as he lines up the notes for the next month's fees, the motion precise and ritualistic. There is a quiet serenity in his sacrifice, a satisfaction that comes from giving when one has almost nothing. Days pass, and the city hums along its usual pace. Kareem's labor is grueling, yet his mind often drifts to the boy in school, to the receipt tucked into the folder that will soon confirm the next installment of payment. It is a small act in a vast city of millions, yet for Asif, it is life-changing. The boy's future is being shaped by someone who refuses recognition, someone who believes that dignity is more important than acknowledgement. One afternoon, Mariam decides to ask Asif the question that has lingered in her mind for months. "Asif," she says gently, "who pays your school fees?" The boy looks down, fidgets with his hands, and murmurs, "I don't know, ma'am. They never come to see me, they just make sure the fees are paid. I pray for them." The mystery deepens, the story hidden further in silence, yet glowing more brightly in its quiet impact. On the other side of town, Kareem continues his routine. Each brick lifted, each hour of exhaustion, every meager meal skipped is tied to a silent promise, to a boy whose dreams are still untouched by the harshness of poverty. Kareem is not seeking applause, not craving recognition. He is simply ensuring that one child's life remains unbroken, one future remains possible, all from the shadows. And yet, the city has a way of revealing truth. One morning, as Kareem steps into the school office, money clutched in his calloused hands, Mariam finally sees him. For the first time, the anonymous face behind the receipts is revealed. The man is thin, weary, and unassuming. His gaze is humble, almost reluctant to meet hers, yet the power of his act fills the room with a quiet awe. No words are exchanged initially, the story speaks louder than anything either could say. Mariam finally gathers the courage to speak, her voice soft but filled with wonder. "You've been paying, all these years?" Kareem nods, his eyes fixed on the floor, as if looking directly into the earth could somehow shield him from recognition. He doesn't speak of his own hunger, his own sleepless nights, the broken shoes he wears, or the empty meals he sometimes endures. To him, none of that matters. Only Asif matters. Only the child's future, untouched by the cruelty of circumstance, matters. Asif, standing nearby, cannot believe what he is seeing. The boy's small hands tremble slightly as he steps forward, wanting to reach out, but unsure how. All his life, he had known kindness existed in whispers and prayers, not in flesh and blood. And yet, here it was, this weary, unassuming man, holding the power to change the course of his life silently, humbly, invisibly. A neighbor, who had watched Kareem for years, is interviewed next. He speaks with quiet astonishment, recalling countless mornings when Kareem would leave his small, dimly lit room, pockets nearly empty, only to somehow make sure that school fees were sent without anyone knowing. I never understood how he did it, the neighbor says. He barely had enough for himself, yet every month, he gave. There is awe in his voice, a reverence that can't be taught, only witnessed. The camera pans over Kareem's hands, roughened and scarred from decades of labor. Each line, each callus, tells a story of hardship, but also a story of unspoken devotion. The hands that lift bricks with uncomplaining strength are the same hands that lift hope for another life. It is a striking, almost paradoxical image, the depth of generosity hidden in the body of poverty itself. Back in the school office, Asif's teachers recount the impact of Kareem's unseen sacrifice. We've seen many children struggle, many families fail, but this boy, he is different, one teacher says. His grades, his confidence, his ability to dream, all because someone believed in him without asking for anything in return. There is silence for a moment, the weight of invisible kindness hanging heavily in the air, like a quiet storm passing unnoticed over a city that never sleeps. Kareem walks the streets after work, the sun setting in streaks of orange and pink over concrete and steel. Each step he takes is careful, deliberate, almost ceremonial. The same streets that witness his labor are also the streets that conceal his generosity. Children run past him, oblivious to the fact that the man passing by may have just ensured their friend's education continues for another month. That is the essence of his heroism, silent, uncelebrated, but infinitely powerful. Then comes a twist no one expected. One evening, Asif opens a letter sent to him from an anonymous sender. It is a note, written in simple, precise handwriting, encouraging him to continue studying, to dream, and to never forget that someone believed in him. The boy reads it aloud to Mariam, tears glistening in his eyes, and for the first time, the emotional weight of Kareem's silent labor is fully realized. The audience, watching the documentary unfold, feels the surge of gratitude, awe, and humility, the understanding that true generosity often comes without fanfare. The narrative cuts to a quiet interview with Kareem, who finally breaks his silence. His words are measured, soft, almost reluctant. I never wanted anyone to know, he says. I cannot change my life, but I can give someone else a chance to change theirs. That is enough. There is a pause. His eyes glisten briefly under the dim light, reflecting the pride he feels, not in recognition, not in praise, but in knowing he has made a difference. The documentary then shifts to a montage. Asif in class, diligently writing in his notebook, Kareem returning home, weary but content, neighbors going about their lives unaware of the silent ripple one man has created. The juxtaposition is deliberate. Life goes on, yet lives have been touched in ways that will resonate far beyond what anyone can see. Every brick lifted, every coin saved, every risk taken quietly manifests as hope, opportunity, and dignity. As night falls over the city, the camera follows Kareem up a narrow alley to his small, sparsely furnished room. He sits on the floor, exhausted, the faint glow of a single bulb illuminating the edges of old photographs and worn furniture. In silence, he counts the remaining money, ensuring the next month's fees will be ready. The ritual is unchanged, the act eternal. Outside, the city sleeps, oblivious to the quiet heroism in its midst, and yet the world has shifted, invisibly, profoundly, irrevocably. In the final moments, the focus shifts back to Asif. He looks directly into the camera, voice trembling, heart full. I don't know who does this for me, he says softly, but I hope one day I can make them proud. It is a testament to human resilience, to unseen kindness, and to the enduring power of selfless action. The story has come full circle. A laborer who can barely feed himself, yet feeds hope, a boy who may never forget the gift of invisible generosity, a city unaware of the quiet miracle unfolding in its streets. And so we leave them, Kareem, returning to the shadows, and Asif, stepping into a brighter tomorrow. A story of struggle, hustle, and payoff, of ordinary courage creating extraordinary outcomes. The hidden donor remains unseen, yet his impact resonates in every smile, every accomplishment, every life touched. Thank you for watching The Unrevealed Realities. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe, share, and help us bring more secret chapters into the light, because there are countless untold stories waiting to be revealed, stories of courage, kindness, and humanity that remind us that even the smallest sacrifices can leave the deepest marks.